You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
All right, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Couch Potatoes. I'm Alex.
Morrison.
And here we are in the brand new Something Good Studios. That's right, it's the week after the move, and I got some shit to say about that.
A 10 foot by 10.5 foot room.
Yes, but didn't go quite the way we planned.
Still in the same apartment. It's fine. It's fine. We're still in the same apartment. We're just in a different room. It's a little bit more claustrophobic. There's more shit on the walls. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody's cool.
So what happened was Chris and I record our final episode, and then Dave and I record our Something Good episode that also just got released, and we're talking about final episodes in the original Something Good Studios and all this junk. And the day before move-in day, which was going to be a Friday, I get an email. And the email stated that...
Go fuck yourself.
Yes, in so many words. It stated that on further inspection, they realized that the patio on the ground level floor that is on earth, on dirt, has structural damage issues, and they would no longer be permitting me and my girlfriend to move into the apartment.
As things happen.
As I walk over there and look at it my goddamn self and see that it's clearly not new damage and it's been there for a very long time, and clearly the people that were living there were allowed to live there with it, yet for some reason I'm not.
They're grandfathered in, man. It's fine. It's fine.
So,
dude, it could be worse. You could be getting like a Dahmer apartment, man. You could be like, man, we cracked the patio and we found something under there, and we're going to have to give you a minute before we get you over there.
Well, see, I'd be fine with that. Then there'd be an actual reason. There's no reason for this.
Saying dead person on the concrete, yeah.
And so either way, and when we went through all that, then I was just like, look, I was promised a new apartment. This one is no good. And she showed me two others. The first one, I didn't even get into the apartment before I was like, no. Literally, I told her no before we even walked in. I was like, no. She's like, what? I was like, look at the outside. The door had hardcore dents and cuts in it. And even the front part of that concrete was all sorts of messed up. And I was messing with her at that point. I was pointing it out. I was like, that's not structural damage. Go into the place, dude. The walls were nasty. The floor was the old flooring. This was not renovated in the slightest. This hadn't been touched in years. I was like, this is no good.
The holes haven't been painted over.
No.
They didn't bother to put up a sheet of paper and paint over
it. Not even. It takes me to another one. The living room looks fine. The kitchen is okay. Older stove than what I have now. And it's like, all right, whatever, I can deal. I go to walk up the steps. I step on the third step, and it not creaks, it moves. And I look at it, and I'm with the property manager. And I look at her, I was like, this step, what? Look. And I'm kind of bouncing on it, and it's making noise. She's like, I was like, do you hear that? She goes, yeah, I mean, it makes some noise. I mean, older apartments are going to make noise. I'm like, right. I understand that. I like old houses. This isn't making noise. This is moving. This isn't okay. Feel this. And I stepped off. I was like, feel it. She's like, no, I'm not. I started refusing to step on it. I was like, get up on the step. I was like, feel it for yourself. If you think it's fine, get up on the step. So she walks up there. Now, I'm actually applying weight so you can, hear it. She's, moving her shoulders, bouncing. She's like, it's not really moving for me. And at that moment, I was like, no, not this one. And she's like, well, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. I say, here's the problem. You're the property manager. You're the one that's going to have to put the final say on a piece of paper. And your word is that this stair only makes noise and that it does not move. I'm telling you, if I were buying this as a house and this was the stair, I would personally fix it. I don't like it. But guess what? I'm not allowed to fix it. That's your responsibility. And if you're not going to fix this, then this is no good. And she was like, well, I just don't, it only creaks for me. I said, okay, fine, whatever. Then this is no good either. And we made a deal where she was going to send over the maintenance manager to my place and look at everything and fix everything so that in the meantime, I would stay here. And whenever they fix the balcony at the other place that I was promised, I will be able to move in there without the extra charges. Here is the best part. She said that he would be around, I think it was like 3:30 to like take a look at my place. So I'm like, okay, cool. I start staring out the window starting at about 3:15 because I'm like, I'm not missing these dudes. I'm not going to miss them. Sure enough, he pulls up to the other one because she said he was going to walk through with that because she's still trying to put me in the one with the creaky step too. Yeah. And she's like, well, just have him walk through with that too. And then y'all can walk through together. I'm watching. Sure enough, he pulls up by himself and walks in. I'm like, no. I'll bust right out of my apartment. I'll walk on up. I'm like, are you so-and-so? He's like, yeah. I was like, my name's Alex. Great to meet you. I was like, let's go ahead and take a walk through here. I'm the guy the reason you had to come over here. I take one step on that. He goes, oh, whoa. That makes a lot of noise. I was like, yeah, step on that. He steps up and actually bounces on it like I did. He goes, yeah, I'm going to have to put some nails in that. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, now, I still don't want this unit, but I'm glad you're fixing it for someone else. Take a look at mine. He walks through my spot. Dude, fixes the microwave door, fixes the fucking disposal unit, fixes everything except for the floor and the shower thing, but he's put in like his own special request to like fix the washer, everything. Like he knocked it all out. And he was just like, how long has all this been an issue? I'm like, off and on for a year, over a year. He's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But he's like a new guy. So yeah, a whole bunch of getting ready and working for nothing. Then the thing that pissed me off the most was leading up to it. I'm sitting here going, okay, well, I'm getting a new unit. I don't have to worry about fucking cleaning, I outside of like sweeping, and kind of like tidying up before I leave. I'm not maintaining this place. I'm getting a new spot. Well, I get that news fucking Thursday and my girl's moving in Saturday. And I'm going, uh-oh, I have only Friday to get this done. Dude, you came over that Friday. I was shampooing the rugs, cleaning everything, mopping, sweeping. Boy, by the time you came back the next day, you were like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, that's what was supposed to happen Thursday, but I was fighting with the leasing office all day. So I don't think this place has ever been cleaner or more organized than it currently is right now, all because I thought I was finally going to be able to put this place in my back window.
Yeah, it's always a pain in the ass when you're just trying to do something and everything falls out of place, especially when you're trying to move.
Yeah, it's especially day before. Literally the day before, because I was fighting everything to get all the dates lined up, to get all this lined up. And then sure as shit, the day before, I'm like, really? I
was running into that same kind of shit with work because I told him, I was like, hey, my buddy's moving. I got some of my stuff still there. I need to come down. And he's just like, oh yeah, that's fine. You can take, we're not going to work we're not going to work Friday night. You're fine.
Yeah.
After I left here, got a call. We're coming in Friday night. Okay, let me just unload this bed real quick and get my 5 hours of sleep and then work for you assholes. And then, all right, and this is what pissed me off this past week, is they told us we're working 6 days. Okay, another 6 days in a row. Not a big deal. The check's going to be okay. I just got hired on. I got a $1.25 raise.
Good job. Congratulations.
So, like, I'm okay. Like, I've canceled my plans. I'm not going to do any podcasting until, like, Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning, maybe. fucking Friday or a fucking Thursday night. We line up for our safety meeting, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna have a full weekend." I'm just like, "What?" I canceled plans so I could work, and you canceled that. God damn it, guys! I fucking hate you people, because they told us in a very fucked up kind of way.
Yeah,
they told us if we don't meet our number, whoever doesn't meet their number has to work an extra day. And my logic in my brain is, let's take the slowest people who don't have enough people to do the job, make them work 6 days, get them super fucking tired. That way they can work super fast.
Yeah.
The rest of the week.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's not gonna be a hassle and a half. So so that happened. And plus our machines kept breaking. So like our numbers kept just steady. Like we're supposed to hit like 53 an hour. We hit like 9, and it was just like, what did you do all that time? I picked up boxes and put boxes down, and then swept, and then did that again. And then I made a mess, and then I cleaned it up.
Yeah, and then it's like for me, even like you messaged me last week and you're like, you want a podcast? I was like, no. I was like, we all need a break from this. I've done some moving, you've done some driving. Let's give it a week. Let's come back next week, be refreshed. Let's give it some time. And here we are, and we're back. And you know what? I do have to continue this tradition. So far, every episode, I've had a new drink. And, you know, if next week I don't find a fun soda, I got to stop by Common Market and pick me up a little alcoholic beverage. A little something. Oh, yeah. You teased something to bring in. I'm very curious to try.
I have to drink a whole case of it to get really loaded.
Yeah. But there's the Coca-Cola Creations. They've been doing a bunch of stuff. They had that dream flavor.
It's like cotton candy.
Yeah. I think there was even like a unicorn something. I forget. They've done a bunch of different ones. Well, their new one in collaboration with League of Legends is called the Ultimate Edition. And the reason I wound up picking this one up is very rare. They actually have a 0 sugar version. Most of the time when they do these, it's just the plain sugar version, and I'm not doing all that. But yeah, I figure we can give this one a try here.
It doesn't have the same pop as a can.
No, not quite. But you know, it is what it is. You want first swig?
No, you go ahead. I'll let you. You're a Coke fan.
They definitely added a flavor.
Real Coke?
It almost tastes like it's definitely a fruit of some sort. First thing I thought was pineapple.
It's like caffeine-free Coke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone melted Laffy Taffy in Coke. What flavor is that? I keep thinking it's like pineapple.
No, that's like cherry lime. That's that artificial ghost flavor, man.
Oh, shit. You're right.
That's that artificial ghost flavor.
That's what it was hitting, because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, there's a familiar flavor to that, and you're right, that Ghost energy drink, the cherry limeade flavor.
Not like that beer we drank last time.
Yeah. Actually, now that we're in our new studio, I have my computer. I have my computer right in front of me, so now I'm actually going to cheat and see if there's a website and see if they actually say what flavor it is. Oh, they're just trying to... Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, there's just people trying to guess what it is. Yeah, they had the Dream World and Starlight.
Starlight was the other one I remember. Mm-hmm. That was popular. That had a weird flavor, remember?
Yeah, it's... Okay. It said, Coke is never going to tell us what flavor it's aiming for with its latest creation, Bevy. Ew. People are abbreviating beverage to Bevy. I don't like that.
Bevy is used as a term for multiple casts, like a bevy of options.
Well, so a bevy of... I guess that kind of works also.
If it's a pun, I'm going to be mad.
I think it is.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Early tasters online were naming everything from coffee to mango to pineapple to peach to banana cream. I got a hint of banana cream for a second too, and then it did change to pineapple, and also didn't want to believe that it was that flavor, so I kind of tricked myself out of it.
It's that artificial banana flavor.
Possibly, yeah, it might be, but you know, it's not horrible. I kind of like this one better than the Dream one.
Yeah,
and the Starlight.
It's better than Mountain Dew fucking vomit.
Yeah, it's
or Flamin' Hot.
Same. I
forgot the name.
It's the same fucking thing.
They got a new. They went down the rocket pop. They made a rocket pop flavor of Mountain Dew. I saw that. Very popular at work.
We'll see if we really want to go balls to the wall on our flavor taste tests. We need to get the alcoholic Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Which I've yet to find. I found a lot of the alcoholic Monster, which I'm definitely not doing.
Yeah, it's not
because the flavor of Monster was garbage to start with.
Well, it's not good to drink an upper with a depressant.
Well, they're actually not that. They're not an energy drink base. Yeah, but that is illegal now.
Yeah, but it's Four Loko did that.
Yeah, that's the reason it's illegal.
But like, it's still a caffeinated drink.
It isn't.
Yeah, but like Coca-Cola, Jack Daniels is a caffeinated drink with Jack Daniels in it. So that's an upper, a mix with a downer.
If you do it separately, I believe that within the can, they're not allowed to add any caffeine to the product because of Four Loko, or like they have to have like such a low. It's not gonna be like
a 225 milligram.
Yeah, no, to the point where it's like a negligible effect where you couldn't even feel anything.
I think this is just a secret way to get past liquor laws, honestly. Like if you could just buy a mixed drink in a can and just drink openly while you're driving. That seems like what the path they're going down, because I mean, have you noticed that all the alcohol mixed drinks are in cans?
Oh yeah,
but not in plastic bottles.
100%.
Yeah, so like it just seems like this is the easiest way to get the fucking cans in people's hands. You know, it's just like, oh, it tastes like cherry limeade. No, it tastes like shit. But I could get shit faced.
Well, when you're talking about skirting around liquor laws, I wholeheartedly believe that. When I was on tour recently with Tuck Smith, I won't name the venue because I'm not trying to get anyone, like, I'm not trying to cast shade or nothing, but one of the venues we stopped at didn't have a liquor license, but they had a lot of those ranch waters, which was tequila.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of like tequila seltzers, but they didn't have any bottles of anything. So it is very much an easy way for places to kind of skirt around that.
If it'll go under the purview of a beer license, beer and wine, it's fine.
It does.
Yeah, so it kind of skirts around.
Malt liquor kind of thing, and that kind of counts under that same category.
Yeah, you can sell cans of Schlitz, but you can't put vodka in a cup, you know?
Exactly. It's that weird, I mean, it's the same thing with like your marijuana laws. You know, you're allowed to separate all these different components and deltas and CBDs, but as soon as you combine them together in a certain combination, then it's illegal.
Yeah, and it should be. It's bad for you.
Whatever.
With your electric lettuce.
The electric lettuce.
I like mine acoustic, and also called tobacco. Go ahead, Alice. Pull yourself a dip. It's Copenhagen.
Well, we got a whole lot to talk about on this episode, so let's go ahead and move on over to our news segment. Yes, we actually finally have some decent news to go over this week. I'm actually excited about that. I completely forgot this was happening until Thursday when I was getting like all my little house shit done. And actually, I think it was on. May have been. Yeah, I think it was either Wednesday or Wednesday. That's when it was. It was on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I was getting like some of my early afternoon stuff taken care of, and then bam, we were hit with a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And I was stoked about that. I completely forgot that was coming. And yeah, we might as well just kind of run down the ones that we were most excited about. According to this list here, just kind of running it through down. First one that popped up was Sonic Superstars. We didn't watch the trailer to that one recently, but that's going to be a new side-scrolling adventure where you can control Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, and Tails, and has a local co-op system for 4 players and comes out in the fall of 2023. So Sonic is getting a new platforming game, and that's going to be fun. Detective Pikachu returns, and that's the name of the new game. And
I've been on the job in Kanto since Yellow. Red and Blue were the worst years, but I thought everything was going to turn around during Silver and Gold, but after I saw what Mr. Mime did to Jinx, I knew this world was failed.
I was never the same.
Never the same. They said Emerald Green was going to change everything. They were fucking wrong.
Honestly, when I saw the announcement for Detective Pikachu Returns, I wasn't as excited for the game as I was your constant commentary about it anytime I bring it up. Because
Law and Order Black and Blue Pokemon Edition.
Yes. And the thing was, it's like you're already making that joke that I put on the trailer, and you're like, he's even doing the voice.
Yeah, he's doing the goddamn grizzled detective voice. Black coffee. He's like, oh yeah, this is French roast, some fancy fucking bullshit. Wiping the fucking dead ditto blood off his goddamn paw. Like, just like, someone draw a fucking chalk line out of this. We got a Pokemon that's a chalk line. We will eventually, don't worry. We're running out of fucking ideas. Throwing everything against the fucking wall over here.
A couple small ones of note, ones at least I was interested in. There's a game coming out called Headbangers Rhythm Royal, where you're playing as a pigeon against 29 other pigeons, and it's kind of like a rhythm mini game, stay in sync Simon Says.
I would love the final boss of like a playthrough to be Mike Tyson. He's just petting the pigeon and not killing it. It's not killing it.
And of course, we get all the Pikmins are now going to be available on Nintendo Switch, and along with the new game, Mario Kart 8 Booster Course, along with Kamek, PD Piranha, and Wiggler are now going to be available, playable racers.
It just sounds like Mario Kart doesn't need another game. They're just adding content to the existing game.
Yep, and I'm totally fine with that because I've got the DLC for it, and I'm loving it. The DLC rocks. A whole bunch of other small stuff like Just Dance, the Batman Arkham trilogy is coming out for the Switch.
Yeah, it'll be downgraded just a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
Unlike Doom. Doom was downgraded. When they ported The Witcher over to the Switch, they had to do a lot of downgrading.
See, I've still got my 360. So I'd just rather buy the old Arkham games for the 360 and just play it on that.
Yeah, but Arkham Knight was only for the Xbox One S and the PS4. So.
Yeah. And Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, the 3DS game, is now getting a remaster for the Switch as well.
Did you get a chance to play Luigi's Mansion 3?
I've played a little bit of it. I need to dig into it a little bit more. Of course, the last few weeks with the move, hadn't had time. But now that I do have a little bit of that wiggle room time, I definitely want to give it a shot again. Another one I was rather surprised on, considering she had a game once already and it did not do the best. Princess Peach is getting another game.
Yeah.
So we're getting another Princess Peach game. And a lot of people were sitting here going like, oh, okay, well, that's just going to be the 2D Mario game that was being rumored. All of a sudden, Super Mario RPG is getting a remaster and a re-release.
Willed that shit into being, bro.
I swear
Every
to God,
fucking time we talk about Nintendo, this will into being.
And you were saying, you were like, I wish they would, because I swear it was like, 2 episodes ago, you were even saying they could never do something with this ever again because Square Enix has that hold and this, that, and the other. Square Enix must have heard it, and it melted their hearts. And they went, you know what, Chris? You're right. There's no reason for us just to be so stingy with this one game. We're going to re-release
it's the same with when we talked about Game Boy Advance. And, the only thing it's kind of lackluster on the library right now, which is fine.
It's coming. It's slow drip.
But during the Game Boy Advance SP days, it was all about them Pokemon games, and so I think they're prepared for something big for that. Maybe a peripheral device to do like a link cable for the Switch. I think that would be fun. Mm-hmm. And but going on to those little DLC projects that were on. Me and Mikey were hanging out, and we were playing some of those games on the Sega and stuff. Yeah. And he brought up 64, and he put up GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah.
And so we decided to play multiplayer. So, fun fact, the controls have 2 separate modes, and you really got to know the N64 controller to play that game.
Also, side note, the controls on the Switch version are nerfed really bad.
Are garbage.
Yes. So the 64 version wasn't the best. This is still a downgrade from that.
So they're inverted. So up goes down, left goes right, which I hate. But watching me and Mikey play one-on-one is goddamn hilarious because I figured out how to pick up a gun before he did, and me trying to shoot him and him running is horrific because after he figured out how to pick up a gun, I found a bigger gun, and I'm like missing him completely, but I'm just like all over the goddamn place. And it's like watching Michael J. Fox play the fucking James Bond games. And we're just like, fuck this. Let's play Pokemon Stadium, something we both know.
That is a fun one.
Controls are shit.
Well, I mean, all you need is like...
Well, what they put on the screen are the 64 controllers. But you only get a glimmer of what those are translated on. So we're trying to play a Pokemon battle, and we're putting each other to sleep trying to play this goddamn game. And I'm just like... God damn it. It's nerve-wracking as shit.
But Super Mario RPG, man, we willed it into existence, and what do you think?
Excited. I hope it plays out. I know they're going to have to leave out some stuff from the original. For people who did play the game, there are elements of Final Fantasy in there. A lot of Square Final Fantasy 3 elements were in there. One of the villains you actually fight as a boss battle was Bahamut, which is a big Final Fantasy character. But no, I knew one guy who's going to be fucking ape about that, and probably will buy a Switch just for that.
Really?
Yeah, because once I tell him, he's going to lose his goddamn mind, or he's going to ask to borrow mine.
And see, that's the thing. That's what I've noticed is, like, I never played the Super Nintendo version. Even as big of Mario fan I am, I'm less of a fan of RPGs, so I still haven't even tried it.
But even for Super Nintendo fans, this is such a niche product.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's such a niche thing, but at the same time, the fan base is rabid. Like, the people that are excited are shitting their pants with excitement. Like, I saw a compilation of, like, Scott the Woz did a really funny parody video of Nintendo YouTubers. I saw a compilation of those Nintendo YouTubers losing their shit reaction style over the Mario RPG thing.
I'm just waiting for that poor bastard to hear that Switch 2 is going to come out, and they won't be able to backtrace their fucking Switch products to the new Switch, and him just shaving his fucking head and loading a gun like fucking Pyle from Full Metal Jacket. And it's just like...
He just goes full taxi driver.
Yeah, it just goes full taxi driver and says, I'm going to the Nintendo headquarters. You know, he's just like losing his fucking mind.
Well, I mean, his Wii U stuff didn't transfer over to Switch, so I mean, he survived that.
Yeah, but I think the Switch is in a very unique position to keep the same platform and just do what they're doing now and just create hey, you bought a subscription service, let's add to that subscription service.
Yeah.
And it's a once a year product kind of thing. It was like $20 with the expansion. What is it, 30?
Yeah, something like that.
And it's a once a year. It's cheaper than fucking Amazon. So I'm getting more out of the Switch than I am out of Amazon right now.
No shit. I'm getting a lot more fun out of the Switch than I am Amazon. But yeah, honestly, I've not played the original, but I might try the new one. I might give it a shot just to see. I may have just been kind of ignoring something that could have potentially been a whole lot of fun this whole time.
If you look up the story of RPG, Super Mario RPG, it was a shot in the dark kind of thing for them. Square came out with Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy products were starting to really catch on. RPGs weren't big on the system. Then Chrono Trigger came out, and everybody's like, well, a lot of that. Secrets of Mana came out, sold a lot of that. NES from fucking game it was, Homebound, same king. And now we're seeing a rise in those type of games, those 8, 16, 32-bit games online now that look exactly like that, are RPGs and tell a good story. And I think that's probably what brought it back. Because Chrono Trigger is still one of those things on the message boards. It's like, why is it not part of the Switch?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's like those things is what, like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's RPG, stuff like that. And those are big Nintendo properties. We know that from Smash Brothers.
Wouldn't you consider like some of the original Zelda games to be RPGs?
In a way, but it's not turn-based RPGs.
Right.
That's the big part about this, is what really turned a lot of Mario fans off of it was turn-based. It's not a lot of action jumping, a lot of action moves. It's, hey, he hits me, I hit him, and we do this until the game's over.
Yeah.
And for some people that play games, it's grinding. It's hard to do, kind of like Pokemon, but Pokemon kept it interesting because you had the other dynamics.
Right.
Same thing. So
exploration a lot more.
Yeah, but you know, people who loved Mario really loved it, and then some people who loved Mario really fucking hated it. And you know, it's like Star Wars or any other fandom. You know, you're going to have a divide. It's like, it's not that good. It's not that fun. And I'm just like, I get whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I recommend anyone just to try it. If they release a demo, get it, try it out. The opener is fun. It reminds you of an old school, like old Super Mario game or Mario game, period.
Excellent. Well, pre-orders start June 21st, and then it launches November 17th. And then
Happy Thanksgiving, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, no shit. And then the last major game to really cover on this, one that I'm excited for, but I don't know how I really feel about, is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's a new 2D side-scrolling Mario game. The reason why I don't know how I really feel about it is, do we need another 2D side-scroller?
If it's cheap, yeah.
It's not going to be. You know this is going to be the full price game.
If they do it like they do Mario Kart, maybe.
With like DLC and stuff.
Add levels, add characters, because we saw 4. Mm-hmm. We saw 4 playable characters.
Yes, one of the very cool things about this is for the first time outside of a sports or Mario Party game, Daisy is a playable character. So that's definitely a fun dynamic. You've got a new power-up that turns you into a elephant. Very interested to see
a Republican.
They're very much leaning into the animal transformations lately, which we can of course call all the way back to the Tanuki suit in Mario 3. But at the same time, it was like we've got the cat suit recently, and now we've got the elephant transformation. Yeah. But the big hook about this game is when you get one of the Wonder Seeds. Basically, it's like you're tripping on acid. The warp pipes come to life. Yeah. The backgrounds come to life. Everything is moving and breathing and functioning.
The platforming gets exciting.
Yes.
And I think that's something they had to do. I think that's very important. You know, they reached out to the modding community very quickly with Mario Maker 2, which was even more dynamic. Hey, let's get all the games together. Let's let you build these horrific fucking labyrinths that no one can pass through, not even AI. And like hitboxes are so small or too big, and it's just like they saw that and saw like there's still a love for the 2D, you know, left to right game side scroller. They still found that that's a fun game, and I think with this one it'll just add to that genre. But I could see where the price tag is really gonna affect. If they keep it at $50, yeah, maybe possible. If I'll tell you what, if you're a collector, you're gonna buy this fucking game. Period. You're gonna play it.
I would buy it in a heartbeat if it was $30, but I know it's not gonna be $30. No, it's never $30. It's never $30.
If it was at $70 and it came with a season pass, yeah, I'd buy it. Because if they do half the thing what they do with Mario Kart Infinite 8 or whatever the fuck it's called, then it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
What would be nice is if your Switch had memory. You know, if your Switch had memory, oh, this guy has Mario 8, this guy has Mario Wonder, this guy has Luigi's Mansion 3, this guy has this, and you play the new Mario Party when it comes out, you get DLC automatically because you're a fucking, you know, you paid for these fucking things.
Well, see, that's what I'm waiting for. They released a new Mario Party.
Customer appreciation would be nice.
This is Nintendo. But no.
You stream our game, you son of a bitch? I swear to Christ.
Free advertisement. But no.
Not in this house.
They released a new Mario Party recently, Mario Party Superstars. And it's a compilation of like old courses, a bunch of old mini games, and it's really fun. But it's kind of limited. There's only like 5 courses and like 100 mini games.
Yeah, that's the problem with like all-star games and stuff when they release. They're not all-star games.
They're very limited.
Game Boy had, you remember the clear cartridge?
Mm-hmm. Super Mario All-Stars.
That was lame. That was an awful game. So for me, that was an awful game because you're telling me the Game Boy Color, which is supposed to do all this fucking shit, and you put that on there?
So I'll combat that. I thought that was an all-star because you got the original NES Super Mario on Game Boy. A home console game is now portable. Not only that, you got the Lost Levels, which was the Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2 before they reskinned that Doki Panic game or whatever and then released the US version of Super Mario 2. So that's why I considered that an all-star game, is you had for the very first time a home console in the palm of your hand and then an entire separate game. So there was 2 whole Mario games on one cartridge, plus some little extra mini games and stickers and like a clock and like all that other shit. I don't know. I liked that one. But I wish they would do some DLC for Mario Party. You don't have to necessarily put out more mini games. That'd be nice. But put out more courses. It doesn't take a lot to release some more courses.
Yeah, if Mario Kart can do it, then you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Put out some more boards for us to play on. We'll play the same mini games. Just give us some more boards because
or at least make it to where you can make a mode. Like you can, twitch the dynamic. Because what was it? You and Mikey were talking about like the there was a limitation on how many like moves you can do, or like, what was it, 50, or it went from like 50 to 30 or something like that.
Yeah. So in Mario Party, at the very beginning, when you're selecting all your characters, your games, all that stuff, if you want bonus stars before you actually hop into the board, it asks how many turns. And the old one, I swear, I need to get my stuff hooked back up. I found my old game. I swear you could get your turns up to like 45 or some shit. The limit now is 30. And like,
that's ridiculous.
A 30-course game between me and my girl, we've wrapped up in like an hour and a half. Yeah. It's like we'll blaze through that, and like every time we're like, if we had like those extra 10 turns, things could have gotten crazy, because it was right when all the players, computers and us, had a bunch of stars and a bunch of coins, and it was like, things are dangerous now. We could lose a bunch because people have buying power to screw us over.
I think if you're not playing the computer, you should be able to put that motherfucker on infinite.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason to me, technologically and like system wise, there's no reason it can't handle that. If you could on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo and the Sega and everything, I could just literally pause the game wherever I want it, when I couldn't do that on the Super Nintendo, and I could just jump back into it. Yeah, the memory could handle me just pausing the game if I'm doing like a local thing. Like it doesn't make any sense that you created basically a board game on a video game platform that it has limited fucking turns. It sounds lazy. Yeah, and it makes it frustrating. Like if I was actually interested in that, yeah, I would stop buying that game. Period.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it, but it's like we definitely wanted like some new games to play, and it's like with the Nintendo 64 channel on, I keep still calling it channels because of the Wii, but the app or the whatever on
services.
Yeah, the service on the Switch. They've got Mario Party 1 and 2. And I initially turned her on to that. I was like, hey, let's play some of the free one that we have access to. It's going to be a little janky. It's going to be a little old. I said, but if you like the concept, we'll get the new game. That way we've got better graphics and better controls and stuff. And yeah, after one game, she was like, that was a lot of fun. That was like really fun. I was like, so you want to try it again? She's like, yeah, I want to do a different board. And then we played through another one, and she'd be hooked ever since. I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get the other games. So I'm saying it on the show because we've been willing so many other things into existence. We need Mario Party DLC. More mini games would be awesome, but at minimum, let's get some more courses. Let's get some more boards on the thing. The 5 is not enough, especially because 2 of those boards, the star doesn't move. It's in the same spot the whole time, because that's part of the fun. After you get one of the stars, it moves locations. So it's like you may have been getting close to it, but someone else got there first. Now it's on the other side of the board. Yeah. So you've got to work to get over there. Half of the boards, or 2 of the boards on there, the star's at the exact same spot. So everyone's just making a loop, and whoever can just get to it fastest gets one, and that's not as much fun. You want it to move around. It adds that little extra bit of challenge. But yeah, Nintendo Direct, they kind of did pretty well. Oh, and one other thing about the new Mario game, that Mario Party Super Mario Bros. Wonder, that I really like, is for the first time in a very long time, they've changed the core art style.
Yeah.
The animations, you can tell they kind of cut some frames. It's a little bit more jagged in the movement. Kind of think Into the Spider-Verse. How that wasn't fluid movement. There was some cut frames in between.
It looks like Paper Mario.
It looks like a 3D Paper Mario. You're right. That's a very good comparison.
Oh, they got like some new characters in it, some new platforming you can do.
New bosses.
Fun. It looks fun. I'm kind of excited about the Sonic coming up.
Yeah, and
an actual collection.
Yeah,
that's the problem with these fucking Sonic collections. There is never everything.
Yeah, that's actually not on this list, but yeah, good point. There is going to be a new Sonic collection, and it was actually really funny because the whole time when you were watching it, you were like, yeah, but they're not going to let us go Super Saiyan mode. And then like 2 seconds later, it's like, play in Super mode. And he's like, oh, well, there it is. Well, I bet the pink hedgehog, what's her name? Amy. You're like, well, Amy's probably just going to be like on one of the things. And then immediately it was like, play as Amy on all levels.
It's like modding almost. That's nice.
And then you went, yeah, and it'd be nice like if they had like some modding and customizable levels. It was like brand new customizable levels. And you're like, God damn.
I'm happy for it. I'm not a big Sonic fan, but like that's really, plus they're porting over the Game Gear stuff.
Yeah, so it's going to be like 12 games total or some shit.
Speaking of like just like compilations and stuff, that thing you sent me with the Key and Peele Zelda, I liked it except for the very beginning where he just blazes by Zelda 1. Zelda 2, yeah, just fuck them. But Zelda 2 sucks. But Zelda 1 OG, get the fuck out of here. I will say, like, for those who have played Tears of the Kingdom, I showed that to Mikey, and he pointed out something really well. During that whole preview process, they never showed the Dark World.
Okay.
A whole third of the game they didn't preview. And I went back and watched some old previews of the game and like speculation video, like those, hardcore speculation.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh my God, it's going to be in the sky. Everybody's focusing on the ground up. And at no time did Nintendo ever show the bottom world, which is a goddamn third, damn near fucking half the game. And bravo, because once you start doing that shit is when the game gets tough.
Oh yeah.
And I'm getting to that point where I'm just like OP in the game right now because I've just been collecting shit. But fuck, it is scary. Like it's there's a fear level in the game, and it's really dynamic.
Well, since you're enjoying it so much, start making some notes. Because I want like a full review at the end of this. Because considering like how much you're enjoying it, I want to hear like a joyful, full, crisp review of this video game. And like give me plot points. Because again, I'm not going to sit down and really carve into a Zelda game like that. And by the time you finish playing, if listeners don't want to hear, they can skip forward if they don't want spoilers. But I want like a legit review. I think that'd be cool.
Me and Mikey, we had played some SNES stuff at his place, but I brought my Switch over and I showed him. I'm like, here, fucking pick up them sticks, man. See what you can do. I don't give a fuck what you do. If you lose weapons, I don't care. If you die, I don't care. Because guess what? I'm just going to do the same goddamn thing later, like in like 4 hours. So it don't fucking matter.
Just do it first.
Yeah, because I interviewed him for the Triple C coming up. So hope everybody enjoys that.
Yeah, and sorry for the delays on getting all that, but again, with the move. But we released the 2 episodes quickly on back-to-back on this past Saturday. Earlier this week, we got the Triple C and a History We Forgot. So I'm catching back up and getting it back out there. It's working. It's doing the thing. As Chris rolls his eyes at that.
I work hard to record and I don't even fucking get them. Jesus Christ.
I've been working too, god damn it.
Another news. Apparently The Flash is a flop in the box office.
Shocker.
But no, like all these people before were like, holy shit, it's the best goddamn DC movie ever made. And like, that's what I kept hearing. I thought it was already out when the people were making these comments. No. And then it came out and it's like, what a piece of shit. And I'm just like, get the fuck out. What? This is why we're not getting a Batman Beyond movie. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, Flash did not do well, and ever since Kevin Smith has dropped weed, we've gotten classic Kevin Smith again. And what I mean by classic Kevin Smith is if you watch any of those old An Evening With Kevin Smith things, he is witty, he is sharp, and he has this angst about him. And that's kind of coming out again in his Fat Man Beyond episodes. So he was talking about The Flash and how well it didn't do. And he was like, well, I'm going to say this. I was talking to someone and I asked if their father, like his dad or whatever, was like part of something related to Batman. He's like, I was asking if your dad was going to be there. He's like, no, he's at home watching the numbers. He's like, oh. What for? He goes, because if this movie does well, Warner's is going to greenlight a Batman Beyond film.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen now. Like, literally, when he said that, the entire audience went, oh! Like, then he's like, yep. He's like, but it did not do good, so...
I was talking about that with people before I got here. A few people I was hanging out with who were playing dominoes and talking about, wouldn't it be better if Robert Pattinson had played Terry McGinnis? And Michael Keaton that came back as an old Batman.
Actually, yeah, that would have been pretty badass. I had to think that one through, but that would have been great.
You could have got the same woman to play Amanda Waller from the Suicide Squad to show up as Amanda Waller, but an older one. and kind of do that Justice League Unlimited. Hey, let me tell you about your real daddy. Let me tell you about Bruce and why you shouldn't hate him.
But see, all of that takes writing and planning, which it doesn't seem like DC likes doing. Which, hey, I don't know. James Gunn's in. James Gunn's pretty good. I'll give it a shot. But
see.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Ezra Miller thing really hurt him.
It really did, because that seemed to have been kind of the general consensus of everyone. It's just like, we're interested in the movie, but we're not interested in paying.
It'd probably be pirated like a motherfucker, but
I mean, I'm not rushing to the theater to watch it. I know what happens. I've went ahead and listened to spoiler casts on it.
I kind of wish they would just re-release Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, I still need to watch that.
I would rather see that. I would rather see that in theaters again than fucking watch that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I am legit waiting for that just to be on home movie for me to watch it.
Yeah,
I'll do that, but I'm not spending the ticket price on it. But in other movie news, we got a trailer for Kraven the Hunter. Now, if folks don't know who Kraven the Hunter is,
he's an asshole who hunts people.
Yes. Quick backstory. He's, as Chris said, an asshole that hunts people, and he is most predominantly a Spider-Man villain. He is in the Spider-Man universe. So this is a continuation of Sony trying to create a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. Because we've got that with Venom, we've got that with Morbius, and now we're getting it with Kraven the Hunter, and we've got a few more down the pike, including Madam Web, if we remember her from the 90s Spider-Man animated series, and she was also in some of the comic books, but she became most popular during that animated series. The trailer for Kraven, though, what was your thoughts, Chris?
It's not lackluster. It's going to be action heavy. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson, the guy that's going to play him, great actor anyway. That's the kind of thing I kind of hate about some of these movies, is like you get really good guys who are fun to see. And I mean, he was in Bullet Train. He was in fucking Kick-Ass. Mm-hmm. He was that scrawny kid from Kick-Ass, and then he became that big guy from Kick-Ass, and then then he became fucking Quicksilver, and then like it was fun to see him. Like,
I know we were watching the trailer beforehand. You were just like, Quicksilver's a dick.
Yeah, Quicksilver looks like an asshole. But no, watching it, it seemed a little off on a few things. You have making a good point, because Russell Crowe's in it.
Yeah,
that he probably could have been Kraven.
He plays his daddy.
Yeah, he plays his dad, but yeah. Russell Crowe playing Kraven probably would have been a better idea. I could have think of a few more people, but you want to keep, your new, the new characters need to be played by younger people, so they can have some longevity.
Exactly.
You can't just get some motherfucker off the street and then have to rewrite your whole goddamn Marvel universe because he hit a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Jury's out,
whatever.
Allegedly.
We'll they've already fired the motherfucker.
We'll do the Danny Masterson thing.
Yeah. All right, we'll wait and see. But like, they've already fired the motherfucker. But like, Kraven the Hunter to me was always, a little bit of gray in the face, old man strength. Yeah, like that classic old school look. And he was. You thought he was just a man, like he was just a regular guy.
Just a man.
But no, there was something about him that made him better.
Yep.
That made him stronger. He's a Sinister Six character in some iterations.
Exactly.
There's a reason he's part of that villain. He's not like some shit villain that we see in the comics. Like Snowflame or Tigra or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a real villain.
Or even in, I've got the book out here, so I've got a hardback of Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yeah.
Awesome series. Have you read it before, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, if not, I was going to pass this off to you before you left tonight. Awesome little mini series. But even going through this, talking about lackluster villains. So during the subplot of Kraven's Last Hunt, you've got the villain Jackal.
Oh, Jackal was always cool.
Jackal's a fucking weird. Oh, sorry, Vermin.
Oh no,
Vermin.
Yeah,
Vermin.
Vermin's weird.
Yeah,
Vermin controls like rats or some shit, if I remember right.
Yeah, no, he eats rats.
Yeah.
So Vermin was weird.
Vermin sucked, but like Jackal
I remember Jackal.
Jackal was fucking wild. Like, he looked like he was a knockoff Kraven the Hunter. Like,
yeah, to a point. But yeah, I mean, so it's like even during that Kraven's Last Hunt line, I don't have the artist's name right up, but like even the way he's portrayed there, I feel like Russell Crowe would have done that a little bit better.
Or somebody a little bit older but in better shape,
Yeah,
I think that would have that. For Johnson to play him, I could see why they went with him, just because to keep longevity. But if they had made it like a legacy, because remember we talked about this last time, where we talked about Marvel's writing their own goddamn comic on this. Okay, this is a brand new comic. Why not make him a legacy character? Like Kraven the Hunter is something that's passed down. Why not make it that?
It seems like that might be because Kraven is just Kraven off.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like a Black Panther thing where it's being kind of passed down through the generations, which that very well could be, and I'm okay with them writing their own comic book. I just don't know if I'm interested in the series.
This is also, from what I understand, not Disney.
Yes, it is Sony.
So about Sony. We talk about Sony.
Yeah,
and this is their universe. This is their Dark Horse comic,
It is.
And as much as I love Dark Horse, I feel bad even making that joke, because it's like this is their IDW.
Oh,
but they make Transformers. They make Transformers, so I love that.
And they made the Kiss comic books.
Yeah, so did Marvel. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's hit or miss. It's wait and see. I'll watch it like I watch Morbius on Netflix.
See, okay, since we have power of influence apparently on this fucking show, we can kill people and bring ideas out from
hold
Nintendo.
on, that kill people thing. I know a woman who does that, who wills people into death. That is not a joke. She's a witch. I've seen her do it by accident, and it's a co-host's mom on this show. So I'm not fucking around. I'll bring it up on Triple C later on about her little witchy goddamn powers, how she willed a boy to die and an NFL player to break his knee on live television. That shit's real. Don't joke about that.
Okay, all right. Stay tuned to Triple C then. I forgot what I was saying. That totally sent me off.
How dare you talk about the Falcons like that? Aha! Dude, I swear to God, I ragged this woman hard over a fucking Super Bowl we were watching, and she's like, I hope he breaks his goddamn knee. Second fucking play. Snap! Like, you willed that. You willed that. We were sitting in her house, just casually talking, and these kids were on fucking dirt bikes. She's like, I wish they would just fucking stop and just, God damn it. And then, well, you know what? The noise just stopped, and then we heard ambulance noises, and it turned out the motherfucker hit a brick wall and died. So, that is not a joke. That shit happened. Hillbilly witch willed that shit in the beginning. God damn. But I know I joke about, oh man, you're supposed to kill the guy. Like, I know I joke about that, and I'm right like 90% of the time. That's just real.
But willing things into existence, let me pitch an idea for a villain you can do in your own little universe that doesn't have to deal with Peter Parker. How about a Norman Osborn movie?
Yeah, but like,
corrupt businessman.
Yeah.
Show the fall of Norman Osborn right before he gets his serum. Like, have that be the thing. Like, that's the white horse of the whole movie, is him getting that serum right.
What our whole episode should be, just us wishing things to be him.
And the third act is him getting the serum right. And then leading off with, like, you kind of end on like an Empire Strikes Back moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh fuck, we have the Green Goblin now. This is kind of bad. And then it kind of ends. I think that would be good. Show the fall of Norman, because we got such a good mini portrayal of that by Willem Dafoe in the first movie.
I would rather see a chameleon.
That would also be good. Make it espionage.
Yeah, because he's technically the first villain. I would love to him not have Spider-Man.
Actually, the very first villain was the Fantastic Four. Yeah. They were a bunch of fucking thugs.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that movie trailer to come out. I think Marvel can do better than the other ones.
Sorry, not to sidetrack too fast, but since you brought that one up, what do you think is more cautiously anticipated? The first look at an official X-Men or Mutants thing, or the first look at its Fantastic Four? Really?
That'll be its make or break moment.
You think that's a more of a make or break than anything X-Men or Mutants related?
Yeah, X-Men are so damn many of them. Just like the Avengers, we have a pantheon of people that could fill a stadium.
Yeah, but
the Fantastic Four is just 4 motherfuckers. If you can't write 4 motherfuckers, then you ain't doing. You need to stop.
Well, so what would your main cast of the X-Men be?
I would go with kind of the OG, Beast, not Wolverine. I would wait.
He wasn't in the OG.
I would hold him off. He's going to be in the Deadpool movie. Let's leave it to the Deadpool movie. We don't need to saturate that much. Maybe a young Jean Grey. Maybe bring in some old characters like Tomahawk and shit like that. Warhawk. Cyclops, the cop of the fucking X-Men. God damn, I hate him so much.
See, but here's the thing. So now you're listing off a lot of characters that have been portrayed already.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like they're being portrayed already. If you were to give me some rare X-Men,
I was only bringing that up to say there's an expectation of those old Fox X-Men fans to do things a certain way. So if we're anticipating Fantastic Four, and then the X-Men fans are anticipating what their X-Men are going to be, that's why I'm sitting here going, like, which one is kind of cautiously waiting more? Like, what's going to be the bigger pop?
I think the Fantastic Four, because it'll be sans Sony. No touch from Sony at all.
This will be no touch with Fox at all.
Yeah. So they own Fox. Mm-hmm. So they've got it all. They got all the toys in the box, except for these toys over here. They got to share, but these are their toys.
They have to share Spider-Man, and they hate it.
They hate it, and they rightfully should. And it's hard to write fucking stories when the other guy's like, well, I want to do this. I want Jared Leto. And it's just like, Jared Leto's fucking nuts, right? Like, he's legitimately fucking crazy. The last crazy guy we had play a fucking villain killed himself. Like,
it's like the one smart kid in the class gets paired with the dunce, and he's like trying to write the book report, and then the other guy walks up, I like red, and he starts painting on the script. He's just like, that's
cool. This is Harrison Ford. He'll be your new Hulk. Here you go. Go play with him in the corner. And that's another thing too, like I think we're in a rut, fan wise. Too much oversaturation of nostalgia. I get it. They're fun. They are fun. But it's also the cheap thrill, we're getting that crack addiction instead of that good old Coke addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like crack's a quick buzz, Coke addiction can last. Like a good pull of some black tar, you know what I'm saying? It's just a there it is. And it's like it lasts.
Now, I will say, there was a moment I got a good Coke hit today. Secret Invasion is changing the game. Have you watched the first episode yet?
Nope.
I'm telling you, man.
I know what happens, but
I don't know if you do. There's a lot that happens in episode 1.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But either way, the feeling of this show,
vibe,
I'm trying to stay away from that word. I've been using that too much.
Vibing, man. It's a hippie term.
It's the fucking smoke shop.
It's the hippie term.
I'm trying to work on it.
Hippies can't be trusted. I have a whole episode about
it. But the whole feeling of the show is very reminiscent to early Iron Man and Avengers. Like, because you understand, you watch a lot of film, you know how a certain feel can change throughout time.
There's a little bit of risk involved.
There's a lot of gun violence.
Yeah.
There's a race joke made by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
That was quite shocking when he made it. And I was sitting here going, he did that on Disney Plus.
I'm not surprised.
Whoa.
The man is a fucking mainstay of the goddamn series. He's going to ask if he could do something, and guess what? He's going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino even says, well, what do you think, Sam? Well, I think he could say the N-word a couple more times. Leo, get over here. We're going to say it again.
I feel so bad for Leo.
I don't want to say it again. You're going to say it again.
Imagine Samuel L. Jackson in his full get-up from that movie looking at you being like, I need you to say it, and I need you to say it with feeling.
And I need you to smack Kerry Washington in the face with your bloody hand.
He had to fight a bear
2 years later from that movie just to get a goddamn Oscar. He should have got an Oscar for fucking Django Unchained. That's one person I think will probably never be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
Just because of all the bullshit he had to go through just to get the fucking Oscar and just to go to do that. I think that would just fucking ruin him. I think it would. I would love to see Henry Cavill in the fucking Marvel Universe.
He's free man now.
Yeah, because The Witcher got rid of his ass. That's coming out soon, his last season with The Witcher.
And he's no longer Superman.
Let's fire the actor who knows all the lore and read all the books and plays the goddamn game.
Yeah, and like I'm not a Superman fan, but I can still look at him objectively and go, he's like the best Superman we could ask for this current generation.
Yeah, and like I was talking to somebody recently about the show, Clark and Lois show that's on CW.
Oh yeah.
That guy that plays Superman does a fantastic job in a kind of scary way. Like there are some parts I'm just like, hey man, tone it down because you're in Smallville. You're not Metropolis. You can't just willy-nilly put a man's face in a fucking bar. Like, he pushed this dude. It's that Superman push. It was just like, he just stands there like, it's like watching a guy push a brick wall. And it's just like, what the fuck? And it's just like, the guy's walking towards you now. Focus. You know? Why does this nerdy guy stay at 2 tons? He's like, but that guy's legitimately scary as Superman. So it's like, yeah, I could see these two guys being. But goddamn, like, go back to the nostalgia thing. It's really kicking us in the teeth, really, because it's an oversaturation. There are really a lot of original content coming out that's like, I don't want to say not worthy or something like that, but like lackluster. I just watched the new Extraction movie, which was Extraction 2, which was a Chris Hemsworth vehicle action movie, fun movie. The second one's okay. But, you know, it's still just an action-packed movie. I'm not watching it for, like, the plot.
Yeah.
I'm watching to watch him split a guy's head open with the butt of a rifle. Like, that's why I'm watching it.
And I have a feeling that's the demographic they're trying to reach with the Kraven movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a hyper-violent movie. But, like, there are some good movies on the rise coming up. Murder Under a Flower Moon, which is a true story. It looks fantastic. It looks unsettling. So, I'm ready to see that. But, like, goddamn Marvel's things coming out this year, so I'm just like, and Nintendo shit. I'm just like, I bought my one game for the decade, which was Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, I might not buy a Nintendo thing next fucking fall.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure I'm going to buy a couple of the Nintendo things, and you can borrow them.
You go right ahead. I will never play them. I will borrow them, but I will never fucking play them because I'll be like, did you know in Tears of the Kingdom? Like I'm just like, just I got these red lines. I'll bring up my fucking poster board. Look, it's the story as it is now.
But I find it so funny you brought up the whole nostalgia thing because I was even going to bring this up earlier when we were talking about the Kraven trailer. I was texting with my friend Bina about the trailer. And she shared very similar sentiments about, you know, it just didn't seem right. Like the movie just seems a little disjointed. And she even was talking about how, you know, it just feels like we're getting an oversaturation. And I had said, I don't think it's oversaturation. I'm just craving more original content in between. Yeah. More quality original content. Like, something on the caliber of a Stranger Things. Like, it doesn't have to be horror, but something with that much character building, that much story, something like that again. Give us another Stranger Things-esque story.
They showed too much in the trailer, too. That's a big critique of that. They showed way too much in that goddamn trailer.
Of what?
Kraven.
Oh, yeah.
There's too much. You could have made that 30 seconds long, and it could have just been Russell Crowe talking over images of this motherfucker going through the city, going against animals, going against maybe one guy, and just telling the story of Kraven. You know, that could have been the trailer, and everybody still would have been like, "Oh my fucking god, it's Kraven!" Like,
well, see, one of the nerd breakdowns brought up something that was actually really fucking poignant because they do this shit all the time in trailers. I think we saw one of the last scenes in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because we only see one shot with Kraven with his traditional costume with like the tiger skin and the mane, and it's right at the end. He's got a spear and it kind of lights fire. I think that's sometime. That's one of the last scenes.
Yeah, that's the Act 3 pin note.
So, yeah, I feel like I'm going to watch this movie another time. Yeah, and honestly.
Another thing too is like there's a lot of original content coming out of all the streaming services right now.
Yeah, like I'm catching up on Tournament of Champions.
Yeah,
I'm getting caught up on that. Again, it's why I kept trying to tell everyone. I'm like, y'all just gotta give me past this move, and then I'm gonna catch up on my shows. I'm gonna catch up on my work. Just y'all gotta give me that time.
Another thing that kind of excited is Hulu just released The Bear season 2.
That's something else I need to catch up on, because even my girl brought that up. She's like, "Did you watch The Bear season 2 yet?" I was like, "No, I didn't." She was like, "Oh, we need to watch that." So that's going to be on the watch list, and then we will do a review episode on it, because season 1 kicked ass. I thoroughly enjoyed season 1.
If it's half as good as just like him having a full-on stress bipolar panic attack and then eating a piece of fucking donut or cake and being like,
"God damn it!
God damn, that was fucking good." And then it's just like, the house is burning. I don't give a fuck anymore. This right here, the bee's knees, as the kids say.
There was just so many moments in that show that like gave me they gave me PTSD and like warm feelings at the same time. It was so well done. Kudos. So yeah, I definitely need to catch season 2. And is all the episodes out? Did they just release all the episodes?
I don't know. I haven't checked it out. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom on my time off.
I think they
and
did, because one of my
books.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think they did release all the episodes, because one of my chef friends I still follow on Instagram, he posted a meme saying like, "I will not binge all of The Bear on my day off." Like it looked like he made the meme, and I thought he was talking about season 1, like just going back and rewatching the first season again. So hey, they may have already put out all of season 2.
The reason I bring this up is because I talked to a friend of mine who I used to cook with. His mom had called me out of the blue while me and Mikey were recording. And I finally called her back. She's like, "Hey, Mr. Chris," that's how she talks to me. And she's like, "Hey, I'm having a problem with my computer. Can you come to my house?" I was like, "I can come right after work Monday morning." I drive an hour to this woman's house. Yeah, unplugged the surge protector, plugged it back in, and her monitor said no signal. You know what it was?
Her the actual computer wasn't on.
I had to press the power button.
Yep.
And then I was talking to my buddy about season 2, fucking The Bear, and I'm just like, that's the only reason I remember that conversation, is because I had to drive an hour out of my goddamn way to press the power button. But lovely woman. She gave me like a dozen eggs.
Hey, dozen eggs for your time.
Yeah, but that's just something funny I thought of. That was my start of the week. It was driving. I had just been like, click, you're all good. You're all good. See that? Good. fucking awesome.
Oh, that's still, that's ridiculous.
That's fun though. IT for you.
Well, has there been anything else that's kind of popped up in the radar news-wise, or that
not really
want to talk about?
Not really popped up. More of sank down to the bottom was the Scuba Steve and his submarine.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
Oh, man, you must have been living under a goddamn rock or under the ocean.
Maybe under the ocean.
The weight of the memes themselves would have sank that goddamn boat. What the fuck?
Yeah, let's wrap this episode by talking about that a little bit, because this was just a full ass news episode. There was a lot to go over. It was another gaming episode. We like having our game episodes.
Under the sea.
But yeah, I am 100% sure that on Something Good For You, we're going to be tracing it back over, and I will say on that one, I'll actually go into the news stories and give actual numbers and everything else.
Yeah, sure.
That's not what we do on the Couch Potatoes. We just see the thing and we go, we Nelson from The Simpsons, and we just, ha. That's what we do over here.
It is almost the damn near story of the Titanic. Hey man, this thing isn't safe. Fuck yourself. You're fired. And it's just like video footage of this motherfucker saying to people's faces, sometimes safety is just too much. Okay, I get it. Risk, high reward, blah, blah, blah. Same old bullshit. But at the end of the day, you're in a cramped tube, sinking to the bottom of...
The owner CEO was quoted many times as saying the rules and regulations enforced by whatever aquatic council there is, whatever it is, oceanic something. The rules and regulations in place put in by them hinder exploration.
Except
and
for James.
Hinder progression in the field.
Yeah, except for James Cameron. what I thought was funny was the writer or producer for The Simpsons now had gone on that thing 3 times already, and he's like, yeah, it's very cramped, blah blah. He was a positive of talking about what it was like, and then you had the guy who got on the I think it was like CNN or something. And he got on the fucking live chat or whatever and said, "Oh yeah, I was gonna get on it like that day, like he was supposed to be on it." I saw it up close, and I said, "Fuck that!" And basically said they had like LED lights on it that you'd get at like a DIY shop. He's like, it looked kind of janky, but like in a professional way. And
now I will say, in all fairness, because a lot of people have been ragging on this part. In all fairness, the Mad Catz fucking...
Oh, the Logitech fucking controller, yeah.
The Logitech controller. Everyone's been dunking on that. I dunked on it hard, too. It's easy bait. It's funny. But it actually is industry standard.
Yeah, it is. It is for certain products, yeah.
Yeah, so as funny as it is, and as much as it works for meme fodder, and all fair as game, that actually isn't something... too out of the ordinary. It's just odd because it's not in the public eye often.
It was kind of shocking, like after 2000, I think it was 2013 when it came out, that Predator drones were being powered by PlayStation 3 controllers. Yep. And like wired PlayStation 3 controllers.
And the government was actually purchasing PlayStation 3s to harness RAM power and shit like that.
So the controllers are functional. Like they do prefer the service.
Yeah.
But the
everything
whole thing else. Yeah, the ballast tanks and like...
And look, this is all I have to say about it, and it wraps it up perfectly. And this isn't... And I feel like you agree with me on this one. You do, maybe you don't. This is at least my stance. I'm not dunking on anyone's actual death. Death of any kind is shitty. I'm not dunking on that. What I am dunking on is spending $250,000 to go in a tin can that you weld shut and look through a grainy, tiny little monitor through a camera at the Titanic, when you could just put it on your really big widescreen that you have at the house because you can afford $250,000 ticket on this fucking ridiculous exhibition, and just watch the whole thing yourself. And actually, while we're at it, we just brought it up a second ago, James Cameron made a whole fucking movie for you with a lot of really crazy footage at the beginning, middle, and end. Why don't you just watch that? It's in super crazy high quality. No, we have to do it. So my overarching opinion is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And you know what? I'm taking it as seriously as their kids were. Did you see the kid that showed up to the Blink-182 concert the following morning after all the news reports came out? His quote, won't bother saying the name, I've got it here, but his quote is him standing in front of the merch booth is... It might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at the Blink-182 show as it's my favorite band and music helps me through difficult times.
They just got back together, man. Come on.
I mean, it must have been really awkward in the middle of it when they're like, "Where are you?"
Bottom of the ocean. Dude, I swear to God, if there's a Blink-182 song about a submarine at the bottom of the goddamn ocean.
Well, that is one of their songs where it starts off saying, "Where are you?"
Yeah, but like,
yeah. It must have been. All of a sudden, he starts thinking about it. He's like, "Fuck."
This will make kind of go into the Little Mermaid, a little awkward when they do Under the Sea. Yeah. Under the Sea. What I heard, so it sucks that it went down because this is a private industry, thing. Yeah, maybe you should have followed the fucking regulations. Maybe you shouldn't have charged $250,000 just to do. We shouldn't get into little tubes and go to the bottom of the ocean and poke a stick at the worst tragedy of ocean history, which is literally the story of hubris, which is a giant conspiracy about the Titanic we'll cover one day. But
ooh, that would be a good one.
Yeah, it was preambled by Davey Dirt when I was talking to him about a book he recently purchased. But But yeah, it sucks they died. You know, that's always a bad thing. But goddamn, circumstances are hilarious.
And that's my point. I'm not laughing at the fact they died, but I mean, if
you gotta say at some point you gotta be like, dude, they were yelling fire in the house the whole time.
Thank you.
And you were just like, oh, we could save it. We're good.
Yeah.
And I love the idea. Can we break the ship up? No. We cannot. It's stuck down there.
And this is my secondary thing too. Okay, so I mentioned an episode or two ago, me watching that YouTuber Ryan Trahan. Mm-hmm. Recently, he did a stay in an underwater hotel overnight. And it's pretty fucking cool. It's a little claustrophobic, it's a little weird, but it's a stationary thing underwater, and you've got a scuba guy that takes you down there and is attached to a rope. Then you pull yourself through the rope, and then you get into the hatch, and voila, you're in your room. It would have been so easy to tether the fucking thing. Why didn't we tether it? Like, of all things.
We're not rich enough to be part of that we. You know what I'm saying?
With the guy. What?
Yeah.
But like of all things, like that would have been $100 investment. Rope. It would have saved so much trouble.
That's poor people thinking, Alex.
I guess, but it's like even that. It's like all of this would have been avoided with rope.
I know a couple people have solutions with that. I could cure a lot of goddamn problems with about 10 feet of rope. I know where you're coming from, brother. I got the same goddamn idea.
Damn it, Chris. No, you don't.
Yes, I do, man. I'm right there on your level, brother. Hell yeah. Give me some of that more pussy coke.
You need to work on a better character voice. It's too close to your real voice.
Fuck you, man. That's me. This is Morrison. All right. Bandana Morrison will be drinking.
Oh, yeah. This is Bandana Morrison.
And that sucks because I'm having missed that this year. That's going to suck.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Rim Rocks. If anyone is listening,
go out there,
West Virginia area,
pop a tent, grab some lunch, and listen to some badass bands.
Pop a tent.
Yeah. Full hard. And shout out to Cooper Smith for having 2 goddamn jobs. Hell yeah, brother.
Get it, boy. Oh man, but this has been a really good episode.
I don't even know what the fucking topic was other than let's see.
Well, yeah,
wait and see.
We already decided. We've got a full ass episode, man. I'm happy with it. I'm looking at the timestamp. It works.
Yeah, that's all that matters. It's that timestamp.
But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex and Chris. Do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
Man, I just want some original content. Make a movie about the dumb sub people. Like, I'll watch that. Fuck.
You know Netflix
Dustin Hoffman as the rich man.
Netflix is fucking rubbing
starting
their hands
fires
together.
with that rubbing hands
They're
together.
Ready.
Amazon's on the cuff of just like Titanic 2 submarines.